All right. Hello and welcome. My name is Jacob Krieger, and I am the instructor for sixth grade beginning instruments. I am so excited to be teaching this class this year. We've already had a ton of fun, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the year. I am in my first year here at IMS. I just recently graduated from Central Washington University, and I have joined the amazing team of educators here on the island. I also teach up at the high school. I have a few classes up there and a couple down here at the middle school. On screen and as well as in your email inbox is my email. That is the best way to get a hold of me. At this point, you've heard a few things from me about the instrument rental process, and I hope that that was informative. But if you have any questions going forward, please feel free to email me. That is the best way to get in touch, and I try to be as responsive as possible. So before we dive into the curriculum for this year, I want to just once again point out the materials that will be needed for this school year. This is the same information that you would have received in those emails, but I just want to reiterate that each student needs their instrument and necessary instrument accessories like reeds or valve oil and cleaning swabs, as well as a music stand for practicing at home and our two books, Essential Elements, Book 1 and Book 2, for each individual instrument. If you have any questions or concerns about obtaining these materials, please let me know. I'm happy to help come up with solutions. Okay, so our class is all about learning our instruments. This is beginning instruments, and students have joined because they want to pursue music and learning band instruments. And while these are not necessarily ranked in any sort of order, these four goals are what we're working towards each day. We want to identify and demonstrate habits of effective musicianship, and that's everything from learning to read music to training our ears and developing our oral skills, and just learning what it means to be a practicing musician. We're also working to develop a characteristic sound on our instrument and develop our playing technique on that instrument. Each instrument has its own unique challenges and things that we will be working on, and that is a primary focus of every class period, is getting better at operating each instrument. And of course, one of the coolest things about band, one of the best parts about band, is that we are sharing our musical progress with our families and the larger community. And we're working on fun, exciting ways for us to do that in our current distance learning model. Typically, that's in the form of concerts, and I will dive into that in just a little bit. And lastly, maybe most importantly, considering that we're living in a virtual world, our goal is to have fun while we do these things. And I think more than ever, students need music and they need band, and my goal is to make it as great of an experience as possible. In order to achieve these goals, we do have some practice expectations. Much of this practice will be guided during our virtual class meetings, but it's also an expectation that students are practicing outside of class. This is the best way for each student to make progress on their instrument, and we're hoping that students are able to practice between 15 and 30 minutes each day. In order to do so, they're going to need a private, distraction-free place that they can make sound in the home, and that's a crucial part of what we're going to be doing this year. Additionally, you might have the need to print out some materials. If you have a printer all ready to go and it's full of ink, I might consider having a conversation with your students about how to use the printer and make sure that they are familiar, because we might, as we get farther into the year, we'll be doing some musical activities and playing some music that's not within those two books that we were talking about just a moment ago. As well, students should be able to participate on Zoom with their cameras turned on. We, in years past, were able to see everybody and hear everybody all the time, but given the nature of Zoom, most of the time when students are playing, they're going to be on mute. And so the best way for me to help know how to help them get better is for me to see them. So we're really encouraging cameras on. And if you have any questions about that, please feel free to ask. Lastly, I just want to plug private lessons. Private music lessons they're one of the best ways for each student to make progress. Weekly, individualized, private instruction can be a game changer for a student in their musical journey. And if you have questions about who to reach out to, you can visit our band website and that link there at the bottom, as well as you can always email me with questions. We have a long tradition here on the island and some really great relationships with professional musicians in the community who are fantastic private educators. So what are we going to be doing this year? We have lots planned. We spent the summer as a band team. I'm a small part of a really large music education team here on the island, and we've got some really great collaboration happening across our programs at the high school and middle school, as well as we spent the summer working with educators in our region and across the state to try to develop the best possible curriculum for our bands this year. So we've got lots of fun songs to work through in our book, as well as some other ones, as well as we'll always be working on the fundamentals that help us to perform those fun songs at the highest level possible. We're always striving to build the community within our band. We are a band, this class is a band, and we want it to feel like a place that every student belongs. We're exploring some creative opportunities for students to play in small groups virtually, as well as sectionals and breakouts with pros. Starting tomorrow, they'll get to work with professionals on their instrument and some music creation projects, notation, history. We've got lots of stuff to explore. It all coincides with the Washington State Common Core standards for music, and it's going to be a really exciting year of music making. Grades. I'm sure there are many questions about grades and what that will look like in this class. This is a curricular class, of course, and has grades associated with it. The grades are in two major buckets. We have band citizenship, which is where students will learn how to be model citizens and be a member of a band. This includes things like preparation, participation and engagement in class, showing leadership in class, all of those good things. And that will take the form of 10 points each week. The other major bucket of grades is our assignments, our assessments, performance. And this is every music-related project. For example, our music literacy activities, performing excerpts out of our Essential Elements books, and any playing assessments that students will be doing with me, or recorded videos of them playing that they'll turn in. And of course, concert attendance and performance. Hopefully we get to that. Speaking of, we are exploring the possibility of making music together in person. We are having diligent, thoughtful conversations with the district and developing models for the best way to do that in a safe way. As of right now, I have no news to report, but know that we're fully aware that band is just better in person. Band is better when we're all together and we get to make music together, not through the robot screen in front of us. And we are exploring all these options and trying to develop ways that we can do so safely and in accordance with the state and district guidelines should you and your family choose to do so. We don't want to put anybody in a position that they are uncomfortable with, but we are, uh, all of us on the music team here are just clamoring for the opportunity to make music together with our students, and we know that you are hoping for the same. So I just want to let you know, hopefully in the future we will have some news to report about this, but we are exploring these options. I want to make you aware of an amazing group of parents that we have here on the island, the Mercer Island Schools Band Boosters. This is a parent organization devoted to assisting all students in the Mercer Island School District Band program. This is 6 through 12, actually 5 through 12, excuse me. And they're an amazing group of parent volunteers that help make it possible for us to do what we do. The first major event that is booster related is our Band Together fundraiser that will be happening in November. Be on the lookout for information about this. In years past, it's been a wildly successful gala and fundraiser, and this year it will be moving totally online, but we hope to make it just as special of a night for our band program. And of course, thank you to these groups and thank you to the district for their constant support in music and in the arts here on Mercer Island. We could not do what we are able to do without these groups and without the support of the district. And I am just so excited that you and your students are going to be joining us in this band program. Speaking of, lastly, I would just like to say thank you to you, parents. I know that putting an instrument in the hands of your student can maybe be a bit scary, especially when it can be something as loud as a trumpet. But I firmly believe that music offers something to students that no other subject has the ability to offer, especially in times like this. The community that music brings to each student is so important, and I feel so fortunate to be a part of that, and I'm really excited to be the first to welcome you and your students to that journey, that this program that I was talking about. I am new to the island, but I have heard so much from parents and the other teachers here on the island about how band is one of the largest communities on the island, and you have band parents whose students have graduated long past, but they're still involved because it's just such a great group of people. And I am really just excited to welcome you to that. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Email, as I said, is the best way to reach out, and I try to be really responsive. I just want to say that I am really enjoying working with your students so far, and I know that we're going to have a blast this year. So anyways, thank you for making it to the end of this video, and I hope you have a great night.